Hey, what's up guys, Tactiholics here, and today we're hitting the range with the Sig 1911 Max. What this is a hot rod 1911 designed for USPSA shooters, built specifically to Max Michel's specifications. Max Michel is the team captain for Sig. He runs this gun like nobody else on the planet is going to, and we have the privilege of breaking it down and letting you know what we think about it. Let's go over some of the specs. Starting on top, you have an awesome fiber optic front sight in the front, a very narrow blade with a pretty wide notch in the rear sight. The rear sight is elevation and windage adjustable, so you can fine-tune the gun to the way that you shoot. Moving down, we have a skeletonized hammer. What this allows for is to run a lighter recoil spring and therefore lighter loads while still successfully cycling the gun. So if you are a competition shooter or even just a general range user interested in this gun, you can get away with loading your rounds a little bit lighter to further minimize the recoil. Just below that, we have an ambidextrous thumb safety. Not quite as big as I was expecting it to be. It's not oversized by any stretch of the imagination, but it's certainly easy to function. On the left-hand side of the gun here, we have an incredibly large and prominent magazine release, incredibly easy to hit that thing under some speed, which is awesome. The G10 grips are made by Hogue, and they're Chainlink pattern. These things bite your hand tighter than any other Hogue grip I've ever seen, or probably any other G10 grip that I've seen on a factory handgun. The front and rear strap checkering on the 1911 Max is also insane. That's the only way to describe this gun. You put your hand onto it and it's like super glue. I mean, that's the only way I can really describe it. Just hyper aggressive texturing. You guys know that I'm a big fan of that. I think that's going to serve this gun very, very well in terms of the controllability and managing that recoil. Moving down to the bottom here, top it all off with a gaping wide magwell. It's an ice magwell. Really allows for serious speed on those reloads, and it's darn near impossible to miss the magazine well of the gun because of that flared out opening right there. Looking at the gun, the tolerances are incredibly tight, pushing down on the chamber here, pushing back on the muzzle. There's no rattle side to side in the slide. This thing locks up tighter than a drum. Hopefully it doesn't cause any cycling issues or any performance issues out of the gun. I'm guessing that it won't, but it's pretty awesome how tight they build this thing. I mean, we're talking Ferrari status right here. Finishing it all off, you have a flat face trigger. It gives you a lot of control ability on the trigger, coming straight back. I'm a big fan, especially on the 1911 platforms, of that flat trigger. And the front of the trigger is actually lined with some checkering, so your finger gets planted on that trigger. We got the Fat Boy target loaded up behind us from our buddies over at Tac Strike. Let's go ahead and load this thing up and burn it down. This thing does exactly what you want it to do. Awesome, awesome gun. So far, my only issue is with the magazines, and these are Wilson Combat magazines, very high quality 1911 mags. But with this magwell, how far down that thing comes on the gun when you're sliding the magazine in, because this magazine has a flush base pad on there, I'm kind of having to roll my hand extra, the heel of my palm a little bit extra. You can see there, it's just barely flush against the bottom of the gun. So I think putting a good base pad extender on there, or even a capacity extender depending on the classification you're shooting in, would certainly help you seat those magazines a little bit easier. But that oversized mag release and just the smoothness of the Wilson mags and the magazine well of the gun, the sheer quality here, you hit that thing and they're coming out like grease lightning. Super fast, man. This thing is awesome. I don't know what happened there. Apparently when I slammed the second magazine in, it kicked into the frame just enough that it hit the slide forward out of instinct, because I use an overhand racking technique as opposed to hitting the magazine or the slide release. It shut the slide instinctually. I want to make sure there's a round in the gun. I know it doesn't work with the competition shooters out there, and before I take too much crap for it, that's just my training methodology. So I did throw one round out, but I mean, I hit the steel every time. We're about 10 yards off steel, and that was fast. I don't think there's any question about it. Well guys, really the last thing that I have to say is I now know officially what it feels like to shoot greased lightning. This thing is just, it's been a great couple of days out here at the range with this gun, putting a few hundred rounds through it, a couple hundred rounds through it. No reliability issues. I think if you're in the market for a competition gun for USPSA, or you just want a super hot, tricked out range gun to have fun with every now and then, you got the scratch to cough up for the 1911 Max, do it. You know, the price point is a little bit steep. Probably gonna see it on shelves, depending on where you go. I would say between $1,500 and $1,700, $1,500, $1,800, somewhere in there, depending on where you go, again. But the more you think about it, if you bought some kind of basic 1911 to build into this type of a gun, you're gonna have that much money into it. You know, you go out and buy a $1,000 1911, slap a magwell on, new sights, trigger job, different springs, you know, new skeletonized hammer, all that stuff. This is worth every penny, in my opinion. I want to give a huge shout out to Bruce and Betty for loaning us their gun. We love you guys, and I think this is the second coolest thing you've ever done for us. Only second to the cookies that you make. That's right, all the viewers out there, we like cookies here, and they feed us well, and they let us play with their brand new gun for a couple of days. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Anybody else watching this video, go ahead and give us a like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate the support and the feedback that you get. If you shot one of these guns, or you're a competition shooter, you got questions about it, let us know. If you're in the market for one, go get your hands on one. Again, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So we'll see you guys next time, because we never quit.